Your world feels solid, unshakable, like a stage built long before you arrived. But look closer, and the edges begin to soften. Physics whispers that what you call matter is less like bricks and more like ripples, fields of energy humming beneath every atom. Neuroscience adds yet another twist. Most of what you think you see is actually prediction. Your brain doesn't work like a camera. It is more like a painter, guessing at every line, every color, filling in the unknown with what it expects to find. In this tension between certainty and wonder, something remarkable hides. If reality is stitched from unseen fields and your perception edits the pattern, how much of what you call real is a reflection of your mind at work? Science won't give us a magic wand, but it does hint that the world is not a cold, fixed backdrop. It's participatory. It bends, in small but profound ways, to the way we look at it. A shift in focus can change the picture, and sometimes the picture changes you. This journey is for those who feel that flicker, that suspicion that there's more to this life than a stream of unchangeable and random events. We'll explore the strange beauty of a universe where perception isn't passive, where attention can tilt experience, and where even the smallest expectation can color what comes next. We'll visit the quiet equations of quantum fields, the hidden mechanics of the brain's predictions, the quiet power of belief on the body, and the glimpses of nature's own quantum tricks. And as we do, we'll keep our feet on the ground. No wild promises, no sacred absolutes. As always, we're here to offer questions and perspectives, leaving room for your own intuition to breathe. If you love exploring big questions with an open mind, please subscribe. Everything you see, touch, and trust as solid is only a momentary ripple in something far more fluid. At the deepest level of physics, there are no chairs, no stones, no you, only fields extending across space, invisible yet everywhere. The electron field, the quark field, the photon field, they form an unseen ocean, and what we call particles are nothing more than waves rising briefly above the surface. That's the universe's hidden language. It doesn't deal in things, it deals in patterns. It's easy to assume that something exists simply because you see it, but in physics, things don't just sit there waiting. They're constantly interacting. A photon doesn't glow in empty space. It flashes when it collides with something. An electron's path isn't a line, it's a spread of probabilities until it's nudged by its surroundings. What gives the world its apparent stability is this endless chain of contacts, particles meeting particles, fields meeting fields, the environment acting like an ever-present stage crew that keeps the show running. Without this web of interactions, the universe wouldn't look solid at all. It would be a restless haze of potential. Why does this matter? Because the world you believe is fixed is actually a dance of interactions. Even the simplest object exists in a haze of probabilities until it's touched, measured, influenced. Imagine the universe as a vast ocean at night. You don't see the whole thing. You see only the brief flashes where moonlight hits a wave. Each flash is an event, a stable note in a song that's still being written. When you realize this, solidity begins to feel less like truth and more like an agreement. The table in front of you, the body you inhabit, the world you walk through, they are ripples holding their shape because countless tiny interactions keep them so. Not forever, but long enough to seem permanent. And here's the quiet wonder. Knowing this doesn't make the world less real. It makes it more alive. It reminds you that everything is process, not prison. That matter is not an obstacle, but a momentary choreography. What else might shift if you stopped treating reality as a wall and started seeing it as an ocean, always moving, always ready to surprise? Inside your head, reality is never arriving raw. It's being predicted. Before light even hits your eyes or sound reaches your ears, your brain is already guessing what's out there. It builds models of the world and then checks them against incoming signals, like a painter filling a canvas and only adjusting the strokes when something feels off. This is why two people can walk through the same city street and come away with entirely different impressions. Each is seeing not just what's there, but what they expect to see. Neuroscience calls this predictive processing, and it explains much of our everyday strangeness. That viral dress that some swore was white and gold while others insisted was blue and black, it wasn't just a trick of lighting, It was the brain leaning on prior experience, making a best guess. The same is true when a song lyric suddenly snaps into clarity, or when a new word seems to pop up everywhere once you've learned it. These moments feel magical, but they are your brain's filters shifting, revealing what was always present but unnoticed. This predicting brain doesn't just shape what you see, it shapes how you feel. Expectations can soothe pain or sharpen it. Beliefs can make food taste richer or exercise feel harder. Even fleeting moods adjust what you notice and how you judge it. What you call reality is braided tightly with attention, bias, and memory. A living map constantly updated but never neutral. And that has a quiet power hidden in it. If much of your experience is this guided hallucination, then changing your focus changes the painting. Becoming aware of your assumptions loosens their grip. The brain is not a fixed camera, it's an artist in motion, sketching the world and coloring it according to your history and hopes. Every glance, every thought is a brushstroke, and the canvas can shift with a single change of mind. The body is not as passive as it seems. What you believe, what you expect, ripples through flesh and chemistry. Think of the placebo effect, proof of a dialogue between mind and matter. When someone takes a sugar pill believing it's medicine, the brain mobilizes its own pharmacy. Pain lessens, symptoms ease, stress hormones shift. It's not imagination, it's biology following expectation. Studies have taken this further. One famous experiment gave people milkshakes with identical ingredients but labeled one indulgent and the other sensible. The drink labeled indulgent caused a sharper drop in the hunger hormone ghrelin, as if the body believed it had been truly satisfied. Another field of research, psychoneuroimmunology, tracks how stress suppresses immune function, while mindfulness and compassion practices can strengthen it. And in long-term meditators, EEGs have recorded bursts of high-frequency gamma waves, brain rhythms linked to clarity and integration, appearing during moments of deep awareness. These findings are not magic, they're reminders that the brain and body are one system. Thoughts, moods, expectations, they are signals, and the body listens. Every mindset is a small instruction, shaping how cells behave, how hormones flow, how resilience is built or lost. It's easy to think biology is a machine sealed off from the mind, but these studies suggest something subtler. Physiology bends just slightly toward belief, and that means something extraordinary for daily life. Change the story you tell yourself, and your body often changes with it. Stress softens when reframed, calm deepens when cultivated. Even pain can be taught to loosen its hold. These aren't miracles, they are the quiet mechanics of a system always paying attention. The mind leans one way and the body follows. Nature itself seems to hint that the strange laws of the quantum world don't stay confined to labs. In the eyes of migrating birds, tiny proteins called cryptochromes appear to sense Earth's magnetic field, not with a compass, but through reactions sensitive to quantum spins. It's as if a subtle calculation is running inside each wing beat, guiding them across continents. Plants, too, may be using fleeting quantum effects. In photosynthesis, the light that fuels life doesn't just hop randomly between molecules. Under certain conditions, it seems to travel as a wave, exploring multiple paths at once before settling on the most efficient route. These moments last only trillionths of a second, but they hint at a quiet sophistication woven into living systems. These are not signs that consciousness controls the universe or that thoughts collapse reality. They are glimpses of nature using physics creatively, bending delicate rules to gain an advantage. A bird isn't thinking about magnetism, it's just alive, and life has found ways to borrow from the smallest scales to survive. These discoveries open a door to wonder without breaking truth. They suggest that the line between the quantum and the everyday may not be a wall, but a seam. For all our talk of solidity, the living world is full of brief, invisible dances that keep it running. Knowing this doesn't make reality any less grounded, it just makes it richer, a reminder that even the simplest act of seeing a bird in the sky or a leaf in the sun may hold more layers than we imagine. Reality's canvas may feel unreachable, but the brush is already in your hand. The simplest shift begins with attention. What you notice grows, what you ignore fades. This is not mystical. Your brain's prediction machinery is always highlighting what matters to you. If you start scanning your world for patterns, gratitude, or possibility, the same streets and rooms begin to feel different. One way to test this is to treat your day like an experiment. Pick something neutral, a color, a sound, a shape, and simply decide to notice it. Soon it appears everywhere, not because it multiplied overnight, but because your focus invited it forward. This is the same machinery that turns doubt into hesitation or belief into courage. Expectation sets the stage for the chemistry and decisions that follow. Small practices can bend experience. Mindful breathing quiets the mental noise and lets details emerge. Reframing discomfort, calling a challenge an opportunity, changes how stress hormones behave. Labeling your emotions can calm them, as if the act of naming releases a little of their weight. None of this rewrites the laws of physics, but it does shift how those laws are lived. The point is not control, but curiosity. Reality is not fixed, and you are not just a spectator. The way you meet the world, where you place your attention, what meaning you assign, shapes the quality of your life. Try it gently, change the lens, and see what changes with it. Maybe the world you touch each day isn't a wall after all. Maybe it's more like an echo chamber, reflecting back the quality of your gaze. What seems immovable softens when seen differently. What seems ordinary turns luminous when attention sharpens. You are not a ghost trapped behind glass. You are woven into the same motion that holds stars in place and tilts a bird's wing toward home. This is not an invitation to believe in magic, but to notice the quiet magic of noticing itself. Reality doesn't need to be bent. It's already alive, already responsive. The smallest shift in focus, the lightest change in meaning, can ripple through thought, body, and world. If something stirred in you while listening, subscribe. There are more mysteries waiting, and we'll keep walking toward them together. Thanks for watching.